episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Are we ready to roll?
I believe we are ready to roll. Let's get the mic.
Are we ready to
check.
roll?
Microphone check. 1, 2. What is this? Dude, I do that too. I love doing that.
Oh, really? Me too. I can't do it almost violent though. Hold on.
It's like how I do
I
alien stuff.
I do it too all the time. And
people are like, "What is that?" I was like, "Dude, you just like, you just
it's
go,
a vibrating whistle."
Dude, I saw a concert. One of the weirdest concerts I ever saw was, do you know Bella Fleck?
Yeah.
Victor Wooten.
Yo, dude, come on, Victor
and
Wooten, of course.
His brother, fucking Future Man.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay, so I saw their band.
Okay, should we crack these real quick?
Yeah. So that's Bella Fleck and the Flecktones.
Of course, I remember them.
So I saw them perform a Christmas.
But first of all, it's so weird you like them as a non-musician. Like when I was a kid, I was really into like nerdy bands because I was a musician. But like I never thought there was a single fan in the crowd that wasn't a musician. So the fact that there is hilarious to me. Like that music is so, to me, only entertaining if you're a musician.
You keep getting surprised at how cultured I am.
High culture
and highbrow.
Oh no, but it's like Bela Fleck and the Flecktones.
Really, truly.
Is like being a fan of like watching chess and you're like, I don't play.
He's the best banjo player ever.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, that's such a thing you'd be into if you were like a musician guy. So it's funny.
If you like bluegrass.
It's true. when we try to do that, like that sound when you're like kind of halfway laughing and then it just comes out like
Yeah, so Evan and I just discovered that we both do this.
And I don't know anyone else who does this. I always do it. It kind of relaxes me.
Yeah.
I apologize in advance to everyone listening. Technically what it is it's like you're going like this, ooh, and you're going like this. So it's those two things combined.
What do they call that in
I guess it would be called I think it's called like a dual voice note or something like that. It's like when you hit two things at once. Because there's singers that can do this thing. They can do this thing where they sing really high and their voice kind of splits into two notes, which is kind of crazy.
Is it real that people could shatter glass with their voice?
I bet if you have a thin enough glass and like the angle's right and you can get the voice high, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like vibrations can shatter anything if it's powerful enough. I would imagine that like it comes from something. Someone's like operatic voice goes high enough and powerful enough and the glass is thin enough that you could probably do something to it.
That's the kind of guests I want to have.
See, that's the kind of guest that would be brutal podcast guests because you go, man, how's that whole shattering thing going? Like, yeah, it's powerful. And then that's the end of the conversation.
Dude, Howard Stern had like he would have weird guests on and he would just
talk to him for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's
I just want
someone to come on and entertain us for like 5 or 10 minutes and then we can just talk
our
about it for a little bit.
Go.
Kind of like the animal people on the Tonight Show. Like the animal guy just comes on.
Yeah. Well, those guys are clearly always like replacements. They're always like, oh, Brad Pitt fell through. Get that animal guy on for the 3rd time this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no one actually ever asks for the animal guy. It's always like, oh shit, Robert Downey Jr. fell through.
You love the animal guy though.
I know, but it's like a last minute thing.
Yeah, but it's a good last minute.
It's a great last minute.
I like it. I'm probably almost better than the guest.
Well, you know what's funny? I've done like quite a bit of late night television now with music artists that I work with, and it's funny. I'll be sitting backstage like watching them talk, and I'll be like, they don't really have anything to say. Like the comedians are the best because they're funny, and so they actually have funny shit to say. But like just the random celebrities, it's always just like, so how was the movie? Oh, it was great. We worked in this location. We did this, and then they're like, oh, amazing. Yeah, it was fantastic to work with this actor. Oh, okay, great. And it's just kind of like, that is boring.
It's just self-promotion. They're just like trying to stay relevant and like connect.
It's all about the host. The host is the funny thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the actor sitting there kind of going, okay, yeah, I did work on a movie. And you're just kind of waiting for something funny to happen. Were you a Conan guy?
No.
What were you?
I watched like these night shows when it was like when our family would all be together. And we're like,
But you never like watched Letterman or anything?
Not
like that?
regularly.
Wow.
I watched Letterman. I watched Leno.
Right, you saw it, but you never watched it.
No, it wasn't like a thing that I would like get together to do. My brother was really into watching.
See, I was into them because I was like waiting for what band would play. So like as a kid, it would be like, oh my God, whatever band is playing, I got to go see them on Letterman tonight. That's gonna be awesome.
My mom's like still watches fucking Saturday Night Live.
Oh, Saturday Night Live was a staple in my house.
See, I was not. Dragon Ball Z was what I watched.
From like 1988 to 1990, like 7, didn't miss an episode. We had all the greatest hits of the 80s in the house. Like that was like a staple. SNL and Seinfeld. It was like those two things were staples.
Those are good. I pretty much the only show I watched on the dot was Dragon Ball Z.
Now I will say this: as a kid, my Dragon Ball Z was Power Rangers. So kind of 3 to 6, hardcore Power Rangers kid.
I got into video games, so I would watch my Dragon Ball Z at 4:30. I forget time what now, and then I just play Halo.
See, my parents didn't allow video games in the house.
That's sad.
So they were like, no. So I could play it at other friends' houses, but I couldn't. They wouldn't buy me a thing.
My parents tried to have that rule, and then my uncle bought us a Sega Genesis when I was like 6 or 7.
Right.
Video games in the house now, bitch.
So your parents couldn't just say no, take it back?
No.
I like that. They're like, no. the war is lost.
And then when we had an N64, they were like, you can't have GoldenEye because it was rated mature.
Oh, GoldenEye was
and
the best.
And then our family friend had no idea. And he was like, apparently this game is like incredible.
Right,
and he gave us
see
GoldenEye. And we were like, fuck yes, Eric. GoldenEye. Let's go.
For the win. How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I went backpacking.
Oh, a little birthday backpack?
Yeah, Becca actually surprised me with it. She organized the whole thing.
Like she called your buddies?
Called my buddies like over a month ago. It was really sweet. Made me feel very loved and appreciated. It's about time. And
it's about time someone appreciates me.
And then, it was really nice. It was really, really nice. I got to see some wildlife.
Amazing.
Got to see some deer, some bear. Oof. No big deal.
Scary.
Fucking bears, dude. I'd never seen bears in my life.
Never seen them before?
Never seen a bear before.
Really? After all the camping you've done?
After all of it, I've never fucking seen a bear.
It's funny. I've camped significantly less than you. I camped every year from 0 to probably 14. Right? But then like since maybe camped once. Dude, we saw bears all the time. And not only saw bears, like our campground got attacked by bears multiple times. Not attacked as in like they tried to hurt us, but like we'd wake up in the morning, open the tent, and then like our family friends like tailgate has been ripped off and is just like sitting in like 10 feet away, or like bashed in windows, or like because bears would come through looking for food. And so they just like, oh, I know. The bears are like, oh yeah, these guys keep their food in their truck. Rip the whole back off, bash the window in. Like these are some big old bears, and they would just rip your shit apart. This guy showed me a video. Gray showed me a video of like them just observing bears, and I was like, no, I'm all set.
You were not that far away. We were just like hanging out, filming these bears.
I'm not trying to just observe a great white shark while swimming around.
She was eating nuts. It was a mom and a cub, and she was just like eating nuts out of this tree. Cub was snorting around. They were just like little dogs. They looked like little dogs, Evan. And honestly, the thought through my head was I could fuck this bear up. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, if it came down to it, like I'm putting money on me, not the bear.
No question. A bear that is definitely 4 feet tall could absolutely dismember you.
I could absolutely take that 4 feet tall. It was like 4 to 5 feet tall. Bro, I could 1000%.
Bro, a 4-foot bear is not a 4-foot human.
That bear hasn't seen Roadhouse, dude.
That bear hasn't seen The Hard Life. It's like a chimp. You see a chimp and you're like, what's a chimp? Skinny, not big at all. They could rip your arms off your body.
Chimps go crazy too. They like rip your penis off and then bite your face.
They rip everything off. They like will dismember you. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a bear, bro.
No,
a bear could absolutely tackle you, take you down, and mess you up.
You always hear about some senior, like, it's never someone like.
Are you saying you could take on a chimp?
As athletic as I am?
A real chimp?
Like a caged chimp?
Dude, that chimp is, if he wants to.
How big a chimp are we talking?
I bet a chimp half the size of you could absolutely kill you.
Like the one in Planet of the Apes?
Dude, chimps are no joke.
I've seen
They're so strong.
I don't trust monkeys, dude.
You shouldn't.
Monkeys and robots.
I'm a big fan of like the monkey world. There's the gorillas, the chimps, and the chimps, and then there's the orangutans. Mm-hmm. They all three have different like energies. Mm-hmm. The gorillas are kind of like chilling, but they're kind of like mean mugging, looking around.
The gorillas will throw poop at you.
Right, but the gorillas are all kind of like doing their own thing. They're kind of eating nonstop. They're kind of looking around. They're kind of chill. The orangutans are just like sleepy old people. Like they're all just like, there's just one guy and he just put like a cardboard thing on his head for no reason. He just sat there with it on his head. Like they're kind of silly. Chimps, scary. Did I ever say chimps? I said orangutans. Orangutans.
Gorillas, orangutans,
yeah.
And then the
chimps are the ones that look terrifying because they got that look in their eyes. Well, you know what it is? The chimp thing is unpredictable. The orangutans kind of just sitting there and they're so tired they can barely lift their eyelids.
Yeah.
The gorilla's just kind of chilling. The gorilla's so big and strong, like you can tell they don't want to expend the energy. Yeah. It's like, big guy energy. You know when your friend's like 6'5", they're like the calmest people because it takes too much energy to move anyway. So they're like, I don't want to fight. The chimp, they're like your friend who's like 5'6", and you just go to a bar and they're already in a fight. Mm-hmm. That's the chimp. So it's like, we got to stay away from the chimps. Leave them alone.
Chimps are bad news. You never hear about a gorilla like ripping someone's dick off.
That's what I mean. It's always just kind of like some chimp.
Like beat them to death. Simple.
Or saving, right? When kids have fallen in and the gorillas kind of go, oh, I think you should go over here. Like, let me help you.
Okay, broads, quick pause from the bros. So something I did not anticipate ever caring about so much as an adult was gut health. I'll just be honest, because up until like the last 2-3 years, the term just wasn't something I knew about. But now, oh baby, you cannot open TikTok without being served ads for everything from gut health healing breads to probiotic cleanses and everything in between, which is amazing because having a healthy gut is so important, but it can be difficult to figure out what exactly is real and effective and what isn't. So let us help you out a bit by telling you about our favorite gut health product, Seed.
You guys know I love Seed. They're one of the few probiotic supplements that I endorse. I really like them. They're a 2-in-1 probiotic and a prebiotic, and they have 24 strains that are formulated to specifically target digestive, gut, and immune health, but they're different. They have a special capsule and capsule technology delivery system so that the good stuff is protected all the way through digestion and actually makes it to your gut so it can get to work. And I love that they actually have, all of their probiotic strains are studied in clinical trials and there's actual evidence behind what they make.
Personally, I started to notice the amazing effects of Seed so quickly after I started to use it. And now it's a regular part of my daily routine. I can't go without it, okay? Seed is so important to me now because I continue to love how I feel. Aside from bloating and digestion, Seed also helps promote a healthy immune function and can support healthy skin. And overall, like I said, I just feel better. I feel like I have a little more of a pep in my step since taking Seed,
Start a new healthy habit today. Visit seed.com/chatty and use code chatty to redeem 20% off your first month of Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic. That's seed.com/chatty and use code chatty.
So, is there any better feeling than getting rewarded for something you were already going to do anyway? I don't think so. For example, shopping, okay? One thing about me, I'm going to shop, whether it's back to school supplies for Ember or gifts for my family for the holiday. Shopping is kind of just a part of life in some ways. Why not get a little cash back while I'm at it with Rakuten, the smartest and most rewarding way to shop and save?
And here's the deal. They're free to sign up with, and they already have 15 million members who are using it to save money. Essentially, you continue on with your shopping as you normally would. You can shop and when you shop at one of their 3,500 partner stores, almost 4,000 partner stores, which are across all categories: electronics, fashion, beauty, home essentials. You get the idea. They will deposit your cash back savings directly into your PayPal, and those deposits really add up.
They sure can, especially around the holidays when I think we all end up doing a little extra shopping than normal. You're making money doing something you would do anyway, so what's there to think about? Honestly, I will go for a few months and forget to check my PayPal balance, and then what a nice little surprise when I log in and I see cash back savings from Rakuten just sitting there. So start all your shopping at Rakuten.com or get the Rakuten app to start savings today. That's Rakuten.com. Rakuten.com or get the Rakuten app.
So you went so is that would you say, like, is going camping and doing that type of thing, backpacking, is that kind of like a pinnacle experience for you? Like, is that very, very fun for you?
It is very fun.
Okay.
It is very fun.
Being in nature, the kind of struggle of it, the grittiness of it is.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy, like, when you're just car camping, which is when you camp right next to your car.
Oh, you mean okay, so that you call car camping when you just like are on a campsite and you go on hikes throughout the day, but then you always come back to your campsite with your tent. That's car camping.
Car camping.
Okay.
And you can bring everything.
Right, you got the full deal.
Literally like watching TV at the campsite with an inflatable mattress in your tent.
Got it.
That is car camping.
Okay.
Like half the people are sleeping in their cars.
Got it.
I like backpacking, A, because you're not in a parking lot with like a bunch of other people. And B, there's like consequence.
It's more dangerous. Yeah, because you're out there.
Miles out there.
I've never been.
It's really
I've
fun.
only car camped my whole life. I've never actually backpacked. I really want to. Can I go with you sometime?
Yeah.
Once my knee heals, can I come?
You
could show me the ropes.
It's really fun. You just like
it sounds like I'd love it.
It's like it's an
adventure.
It's a total adventure. Like what was really cool where we were at in Kings Canyon is you can enter areas where they're like you can camp anywhere.
Where's Kings Canyon?
Kings Canyon's in the like Sierra. Okay. It's in the Sequoia National Park.
So it's like 6 hours away?
Less than that.
Okay.
To like the trailheads, it's probably like 5 hours, but the park is I think like 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours away. This place you can camp anywhere you want. If you like hike in there, there's just like you can camp anywhere. You just can't start a fire. Like you can't start a new fire ring.
Got it.
But the first night,
so if it's cold out, you're kind of screwed.
Dude, we were on the, I mean, like, well, you have stuff to keep you warm. But the first night, we were just like, fuck it. Like, let's not stay in the campsite because there was someone else nearby. And we were like, we want to stay up and do stuff. So we crossed the river. There's like a river we waded across. And then we hiked up like a little ways on the other side of it and just found like an opening in the trees. And we're just like, this is going to be our campsite tonight. We were just like half a mile off the path, you know? And you're just like, it's over that way. And you're just like, fun. And then we like hiked further in the next day. And we, my friend forgot his water.
Are you bringing phone chargers? Like a
solar charger?
Or like some sort of extra battery?
No, we were only gone for like 2 nights.
So your phone lasts for the 2 days if you're not on it very much.
Airplane mode, just playing music.
Yeah. And no reception.
No.
See, that's real. So if someone breaks their leg, you're like, I'll see you in 7 hours, and then I got to get someone, and then we got to helicopter you out.
Yeah,
it's a real deal.
You just like send a runner.
Wow.
It's like, go.
Wow.
Go. Yeah. So it's like but like, you just hope there's nothing like that happens.
Right, of course. Yeah, you just gotta.
But it's fun. I mean, like the crazy thing is like the bears we saw were right off the trail. But the first place we were camping, like when it got dark, you know, you only see so much. And we were just like looking around and I was like, oh, that's bear poop. And then I was like, that's really fresh bear shit.
Like they're around.
And then I was like, dude, there's a lot of bear shit around here. Like, I bet there's like, we have probably a pretty good shot of seeing some bear. And then we were hanging out, cooking dinner, and we looked up and there's just deer just like hanging out right there, chilling. We were like, what the fuck? Like,
dude,
why are you guys like this close? Like, we're hanging out. We're not even trying to be quiet. We're like hanging out.
You want to hear a crazy story about bears?
Yeah.
My dad spends a lot of time in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Those are bears I would not want to be around.
It's like grizzlies.
Yeah, those are not
So check this
little
out, dude.
brown bears.
No. So
I couldn't take a grizzly.
So this guy who lives near my dad is a plumber, and his girlfriend is a grizzly bear tracker. Okay, she's heavy metal, dude. Like, she showed up, I met her, she was in camo. Okay, it's just like on a Thursday. And what she does is she goes out into the wilderness and she like tracks them and marks like what they're doing, their behavior, and like she also does things where she like basically tries to deter grizzlies from going into people's property. She was out 15 miles by herself in the wilderness, tracking bears, tracking their behavior. She's sitting in her little own campground that she has made, marking things, and all of a sudden she hears like a branch snap. And before she could even pull her head up, a bear was on her with his mouth over her head, biting down. Gonna just bite her head off. While he is basically eating her, she's able to grab bear spray and just spray it everywhere and get this bear off. But before he got off, he had chomped on her and like cracked her head wide open. She then crawls back, bleeding out like miles, to her car, drives her car, barely conscious, 15 miles back to a city, takes herself into the ER and gets like emergency life surgery. And then she's telling me this and she's like, yeah, here's my scars. And her scars are like the most they look fake. They look like movie scars. I was like, dude, people are different. People are wild.
We're very different.
I was like, you and me are not the same.
Oh, I thought you just meant from the beasts.
No, I meant like between humans.
Oh, yeah.
Like this woman is out there like doing the most radical things
Well, she's
ever.
a Montana human.
Yeah, that's not a human.
It's not
that's
the
not
same
a me human.
as like a Southern California human.
No, it's not
the same
it's
at
not a
all.
car camping human.
No, Montana is a different type of human.
Wow, I was blown away. I was like, dude, what are you even? The words you're saying, they do not make.
There's I forget what you'd call this person, not like an anthropologist, but they had a theory about animals that the further north you go, the bigger the animal gets.
Okay.
So it was just like observational things on like wolves or
right.
Deer, for instance. Like deer get bigger further north.
Okay.
Montana's further north than us.
Mm-hmm.
Their bears are bigger.
This, by the way, this is bordering Canada where I'm talking about. It's northern
Very north.
Montana.
So this is, see what I'm saying?
Real deal.
So it tracks that she's probably just regular.
Yeah,
up
just
there.
another.
Everyone's like that.
Yeah, just like, oh yeah, I almost got killed by a bear the other day.
It's,
Crazy. And if you go even more north into Canada,
Then
my
you're
friends
with-
who are Canadian, they have the wildest stories ever. His stories are endless. Completely used to a level of
I
insanity.
met some Canadian bros or broads when I was in Portland.
For real?
And I was like, oh, no way. They were like, yeah, like we're from Canada. I was like, oh, no, you guys, some of our Canadian fans. And they were like, yeah, like, they're like, you sometimes talk about Canada.
Did they really roast you a little bit
and
about it?
I was like, well, yeah, of course. And they were like, no, like it's rightfully so. They were like, if anything, like we're crazier than what you say.
No, Canadians are the best. Canadians are the sweetest, kindest people ever. They just I feel like every Canadian I know just has the craziest stories.
It's because they're north.
They're north.
They're northern.
Northern.
That's my theory.
The more north you go, the wilder you get. Speaking of wild.
What does that mean about the further south we go, though?
Chill.
Just more chill.
Things just become way more chill. Think about it. San Diego is the base of North America, of North America, right? And it's the just, what up, man? We're chilling, man. It's this is what happens. North, you're like, woo, and then like every mile, it's just the shakas start coming out a little bit more, and the more like, whoa.
I've never seen as many shakas as in Mexico.
It's because you're even more. It's even more south.
Surfing in Mexico, everyone actually does it in the water.
Non-stop.
It's like super cool.
But that's the thing, because it's even more south. The shakas are fully grown.
Here, it's like kind of like
It's
ironic. You're like,
it's loose.
are we really doing this? We're just gonna go like this, right? Like we're just waving.
No, everyone's like
I got Cheeto fingers.
Those are some serious Cheeto fingers. Well, anyway,
that's what I wouldn't have bear mates. I'd just be like, smash some hot Cheetos in the bear's eyes.
Exactly. And
Here's
like,
some Takis.
I got this guy off with some Takis, man.
This bear jumped on me, dude, and I just gave him a handful of Takis.
I said, dude, chill. And he was like, you know what? You're right. I should chill.
He just shocked me out.
Yeah, we shocked up.
We dapped.
Ember calls it psych. She goes like this, psych, psych. Dude, Ember today.
That and the fucking whatever flossing is.
That's
that stupid ass dance. Dude, when
Ember does that too.
What the fuck is that dance, dude?
I don't know. Someone did it on probably TikTok or something, or Instagram or something, and then it took off. Ember today, Becca and Jess were recording, and I brought Ember in from school, and they hung out for a little bit. And Ember did a timed thing with Becca, where Becca said, "How many cartwheels can you do in a minute?" She got 20 cartwheels in a minute. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
She cartwheeled hard. She cartwheel. It's like the most insane thing ever. Just cartwheel. She was going back and forth. And I was like, dude, I would have quit after 3.
Did Becca do any cartwheels?
No cartwheels, but she did a handstand.
Becca tried to do cartwheels the other week in our backyard. It didn't go.
It didn't go well.
No.
I used to, before I busted mine. Yeah, I could do a pretty good cartwheel. How about you?
I can do a pretty good cartwheel.
Not bad.
I can do a better cartwheel than Becca.
For real?
Yeah, and I'll say it. I'll let her listen to that, and she can challenge.
And she was
me
a cheerleader.
Yeah, it's kind of sad actually.
You're like, what happened to you?
I think I don't think Becca was getting tossed up in the air.
Oh, she was more like the let go team go.
Probably pom poms.
She was on that. She was flanking.
Some pom poms.
She was on the end.
Yeah. Rah rah rah.
Yeah, a little more rah rah, a little less flip.
Yeah.
The flip thing is a whole nother world.
It's a whole nother world. She was a rah rah rah.
Got it. Which is the best way to be. It's like, let's not overdo ourselves here.
We're
not getting paid.
No, it's not bring it on. Okay.
Yeah, this is not.
There's no cheerleading rivalry happening up there in Fresno.
No, there's one team.
It's like the Christian high school.
Right, 100%. There's room for everyone.
Mm-hmm. As long as they're beating Satan.
Hey,
we're all winners.
Undefeated.
We're all winners as long as Satan's losing, guys.
We beat Satan every week. Oh, well, you want to get into this episode?
Yes.
Let's
Episodes.
Do it. Episodes. 4 hours.
Episodes. Okay. I will just say I have one word.
Okay.
Kira. Okay. Team Kira over here. I'm Team Kira.
Would you want to expand on that?
Well, I think I'm just here for the energy
that
Kira brings.
But yeah.
She's like a flame. She burned so bright, dude.
It was
she burned so bright
it was
that
a
she
short,
had to be extinguished.
Quick, powerful 3 episodes.
I think that everything's going downhill from this point.
I feel with Kira that she never realized her potential. She needed to go after someone, and she never did. She always played it too cool. I needed Kira to go after someone, and then I think it would have caused a little bit more havoc.
I have to say, well, I thought in the first episode she was definitely going after people, and I loved I did like the like Adam and Eve sort of Jane and Tarzan thing
with
that was
Jacob.
going on. I did like that.
Yeah,
that
you're right. Maybe there wasn't the right person for her there.
Mm-hmm.
But well, should we kind of start?
But I'm really disappointed that she's gone.
I am too. I'm gonna miss her.
I was really, and every time she was on camera, I was like, thank God. Like, why
Ready
are we,
for something.
who else is even interesting on the show right now?
Right. Well, I feel like there's a lot of interesting dynamics. Do you not?
There's some fun stuff going on.
I feel like right before we started here, you're like, "Oh, these were great episodes."
I mean, look, there's a lot. I'm just bummed that Kira's
Yeah. Well, let's
gone.
just moment of silence.
Yeah, moment of silence for Kira. R.I.P.
We'll miss you. Please come back somehow, some way. One quick note I wanted to make about Casey was that in the beginning of the first episode, he was walking along the sand, talking about Kira. Him and Michael, I believe, were talking. And one big gripe I have was that he was walking in the water with sandals on. And that was a psycho move. I was like, what is he doing? Like, take them off. Like, you could see him like pushing through the water with sandals on. And I was like, hey man, like, you could take those off, right?
Just take them off. You're gonna flip water
It gave
all
me
over yourself.
It gave me anxiety. I was like, take the sandals off. You're in the water. Like, I didn't understand that. Okay, Shanae and Logan, and subsequently Haley.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on their connection? Previous to episode 2.
I mean, okay, I thought I don't know. I mean, dude, it's tough for me to even think like Logan has transformed for me from someone that I liked to someone I just don't like on the show anymore. I think Logan has like dead eyes on this. It's like, it's very, I gotta say the way he handled Haley was really weird and like just disappointing to me.
Yeah.
And it was extremely cold. Like for no reason. Cold, like I couldn't understand what was going on there. And
especially because previous to that, he was so caring, like especially on the Gabby season. Like not caring, but he spent a lot of time talking and explaining himself and discussing situations. So like it was weird to see him go cold like that.
Yeah. And like she seems so sweet.
Haley.
Yeah. But it's like, bro, why are you using her like a doormat right now? You know what I mean? Like it was just weird. And then I don't know, like from then on, like all his interviews, I was like, there was like something weird to me about like what was going on. Like he had like some like distant, like looking past it was very strange to me. I was getting very weird vibes. And then, but look, like with him and Shanae, I was kind of like, okay, this could be more so like in the Batman comics, you know, Bane and Poison Ivy type vibes here. Like a villain couple, because he's like, yeah, like she just does whatever she wants and is really like unapologetic and doesn't care. And Logan also seems to be that kind of guy. I mean, like he could paint the picture however he wanted on Gabby and Rachel's season, but he did whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
He even left the show. No one even got a resolution from that. He just got COVID and then just disappeared.
And just dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's tough because it's a confusing connection for me. I didn't see it coming, but he seems to be, and then obviously what happened in the second episode with James, it's like, he seems to be smitten. You know what I mean? Like at first I thought it was just like they're going to have fun together. And he's like, oh, Shanae's fun. And she's like, oh,
no, he seems to really like her.
He seems to be like, she seems to really like him, but he seems to be like, this is my person. Like, I'm ready to wrap this thing up. Let's go. Like they seem, you know what I mean? Like it was funny when they were hanging out, I thought, oh, it's a fun thing. But then in the ITMs, he's like so into her. And then when they were talking at dinner during their date, And he's like, I'm just really appreciate how you're unapologetically who you are. And like, yeah, I appreciate your bravery. And I was like, whoa, bro, you're getting deep. Like, you're actually really into this person.
And she is literally like, I'm going to chew you up and spit you out.
She's like,
the moment something better
too.
comes along, she's going to toss his ass to the side,
Which
dude.
she clearly is doing.
It's
with
so
James.
tight. I'm so into it. She does whatever. She literally will do whatever it takes.
And whatever she wants.
She squashed beef with Genevieve because it's the smoothest path forward. She doesn't give a shit.
She controls the dynamic.
1,000%.
Like the fact that her and Genevieve were just like laughing together on that double date. I was like, holy shit, like you control the dynamic. You literally destroyed her the last time you saw her. And now you're laughing with her because because you're making Genevieve not feel threatened.
Yeah.
And it's like, you control everything.
She knows it too.
It's wild. I couldn't believe that.
I loved it.
But Genevieve has her guard down.
Every moment of it.
But it's perfect because Genevieve has her guard down.
Because Genevieve just blows with the wind, dude.
But I'm just saying, like she's so easily got her guard put down by Shanae acting nice to her that it's like she's set up to be destroyed because
completely.
Because Shanae still likes Shanae, like, I don't know, you can't trust Shanae, so it's like there's no question that like it was almost feels calculated how much she got Genevieve on her back feet.
What you can trust Shanae to do is to look out for Shanae.
Yes. And then if Shanae's feeling like she's into Aaron, she will go after Aaron. Like,
yeah,
you just wait.
And she'll get his ass too.
Yes. It's fascinating.
It's so fucking funny.
I felt bad for Haley. Like, you're too nice. You're too real. You need to have some absolute like fire in order to survive here.
Speaking of savage fire attitude, Victoria. What's your take on Victoria's whole entrance and riling up the women and like the girls feeling threatened by her and the guys' reactions to Victoria?
Well, it was interesting because Victoria had she was a legend to these people. Because they all were like, oh, all the girls were like, oh, well, you know, Victoria's here. Like, she's unbelievably gorgeous and she's this. And then all the guys were like, oh, well, you know her. She's it's Victoria. Like, it was like, you use it as like an adjective to describe someone. And it's like, now the adjective just showed up. So everyone was terrified. And Victoria had just clearly that like calm swagger, which was like, I know. Because she had zero anxiety.
Zero.
And like when someone walks into an anxious place with zero anxiety, like it's intimidating.
Dude, she makes power moves every time.
She does whatever she wants. It's kind of one of those. Like she could walk up to anyone who's in a solid relationship and just be like, what's up? And the guy's the guy is just going to be like, oh, date? Can we go on a date? Like she's that powerful. So I think Victoria, it's like, it's up to her how it goes. Whatever guy she wants, she'll find and get. She's a master class flirter.
This is where I wonder if her and Justin are going to end up having a thing because Justin saw her go straight for Johnny to set up a backup. And then he was like, nah. And I wonder if that's going to get to her.
Oh, like he kind of, the fact that he chose Genevieve.
Yeah, that he was like, no, like I'm not into that.
Because he was vibing Victoria. He was torn. Then when she went out and made out with Johnny, he was like, oh, I ain't playing that.
Because she read Johnny like a book.
Oh, well, Johnny, remember when they first showed up, he looked right at her and goes, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Because Johnny was with Hunter 4 seconds before, like laying on a bed. They had spent every moment together. And then 3 seconds later, he goes, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen anyone as beautiful as you in my life.
Yeah. And then he just
he's just so obviously
immediately
like
making out with her.
Spends the palm
6 minutes with her and they go into the rose ceremony and he's just like,
I love you.
Victoria.
He's like, will you marry? I mean, okay, will you take the rose?
That was like...
Hunter's like, wait, what? I thought we were... Oh, shit.
Decision made.
Yeah, dangerous.
And you know that she's going to chew his ass.
Oh, Johnny has no shot. Johnny has zero shot. My favorite one, he was trying to play it cool because she walked in and he was so honest in the moment. He's like, wow, you're so beautiful. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, yeah, so like, what's up? Anyway, like, I don't care.
He's like, you just touched my hair.
He's like, you're funny. Like, I don't even care though. And 3 seconds later, he's like, you're beautiful.
This is him he's just like,
So, yeah, it's like, I don't care. Anyway, I love you. Will you marry me?
Sand everywhere, dude.
Sand's bullshit, dude.
This is my life.
Dude, hey, my life's a movie, no big deal.
Check it out. This is pretty much like, this is what I do.
Welcome to the adventure. Welcome to the fantasy. You don't need to go to a fantasy suite when you just need to look at me. Job done. I do love him though, like how insane that is. So yeah, with the Victoria thing, it's a little bit, she's just too calm. Like it's just, everyone else is just stressed.
I think her and Shanae are the most dangerous women on the beach.
Yeah, because they both have this like exude, like Shanae's got the more like, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna make it happen, I'm gonna win. And then Victoria's just like calmly dominating. So
Victoria's
it's just,
like, I can pretty much do whatever the fuck I want.
that's the energy.
And then I'm gonna pick
like,
whoever I want.
And Shanae's like, I'm gonna beat the door down and get whatever I want. So it's like they're both.
Shanae is like in the long, like dude, when they started playing the clips back, when she's fucking with Genevieve and she's on there and she's like, I'd be scared if I was Genevieve. I've sent 3 bitches home. She's like, I've sent 3 and I have a genuine connection. She's like, I'd be very afraid if I was Genevieve. And dude, and you're like, I was like, dude, forgetting.
These are the old
clips.
Clayton
from
clips.
Clayton. Yeah, dude. And she's like whispering to Clayton, like, she's an actress. You can't trust anything she says. And then you see Clayton, he's like, are you an actress?
Like, I remember, like, she really is. It's kind of crazy, like how easily she manipulates. Like, she lost obviously at some point because she took it too far. But bro. It's insane.
It's so tight when you start, like when you just seeing it back, I was like, oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah.
And then you see her controlling the dynamic with Genevieve again. And you're just like, oh man.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I destroyed you. Now I'm going to come in and intimidate you. Now I'm going to make you feel calm and make you feel like we're friends.
Well,
and
dude,
that's the worst. That's the most dangerous.
My favorite was when Wells is telling everyone about Sally.
Yeah.
And Genevieve is literally listening to the story, being like,
that's real?
And they're like, yeah, a producer was locked in the trunk for 4 hours.
Yeah, and she's just believing every word. And
it's like, no fucking way was a producer like, in the trunk.
Like, you realize none of this happened.
None of this happened. And you see her face during the whole thing.
Like, here's the closest thing that could have happened. Sally was supposed to go on. They call Sally and say, hey, we're going to pick you up tomorrow. She goes, well, I don't know. I'm struggling with this thing. I'm going to go back and forth. And then they kind of spent like 2 days talking to her. She was torn. That's maybe the extent, if anything, of that happened. And so then they created this massive thing in order to sell it. But like, honestly, I bet they had her scheduled to come down that day. And maybe she threw a wrench in the thing. Maybe she was struggling. Maybe she was on the fence. But like either way, that's the extent of what possibly could have happened.
Or they completely made it up and they were going to introduce her. But then they were like, there's already enough shit happening right now. Let's just let this play out before we introduce her in.
I'm more saying like...
And just kept her in like Mexico somewhere.
I'm more saying like, that is most likely the case. But I'm saying even if there was a wrench at all, the most it was like she called them and she's kind of like, I'm struggling. And they spent an extra 2 days talking with her and then she came.
But
like,
this is the thing.
But the fact, producers in the trunk for 4 hours.
Genevieve and what's her face literally take the bait. They get the biggest reactions.
Yeah.
It's just super funny to me. But also what I thought was insane while Sally's on the note is that they went through her suitcase.
But again, I still think that was all set up too.
Even if
I don't
was.
I bet they didn't even open that up because that does feel like way too far.
Dude, it was like summer camp bully stuff.
But that's what I'm saying.
Those scenes were super weird to me.
But I would be blown away if they actually went through this stuff. I bet the producer opened it up and was like, what kind of stuff you think they got in here? Check it all out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I bet it was like set up to that level where
I
it's
thought you were saying like you don't think it's actually her bag.
I think that too.
Regardless,
I think it's not her bag, and I also think that the producers like opened it up and said, "Yeah, go through it. Let's see what's in there. It might not even be her." You know what I mean? Like, there's no way they actually opened it up. I mean, that if so, that's pretty fucked up. But
that was weird as shit to me. I mean, they do a lot of weird stuff on here, but I was like, dude, this is like an early 90s summer camp bully film.
I don't think that's real. There's no way. They just unzipped their bag. There's no question. It has to just be a full setup.
Let me ask you this. How jealous
and the vibrator's just vibrating. That's what I'm saying. Like, the vibrator's been vibrating for what? Days,
dude. And what are Kira's little like actress cameo things where she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be in."
That's what I'm saying. It's all like,
it on.
The producer kind of like scripting is getting too like they're getting out of hand now to where it's starting to get like you're literally seeing it in. It's not like hidden anymore.
She seems super chill because she's just down for whatever on those. Like, she actually seems like she'd be really chill.
She does seem actually really cool because she seems kind of fun. Like, she'd be like, even if she came up with, what if I took it and kind of played into this character?
She seems like she doesn't give a shit. Like with the Chihuahua.
Yeah, and she's just like, no, why come I can't find a guy like you, Nacho?
Just you, Nacho. And then he runs away from her and she's like,
down.
Okay, broads, one more quick pause. So we all have those days when sometimes the only outfit that you can put together consists of an oversized t-shirt and your favorite jeans. And look, there is sure nothing wrong with that formula. Okay, honestly, it's one of my most favorite go-tos. It just works. It looks great. But, sometimes we want to be able to spice things up without putting in that extra effort. One surefire way to take any outfit from standard to subtly cool is with a stacked earscape from Studs. If you're like, Jess, what in the world is an earscape? Don't worry. We're about to tell you.
Okay, earscape. I love this term. It was coined by Studs. So instead of just having your lobes pierced, you have a bunch of fun piercings all together, and then it's like a little earring wardrobe. I think it's a really simple way to have a cool look going all the time because you put the earrings in and you just kind of forget about them. Even if you have just your lobes pierced, they have a ton of cool jewelry options to choose from, all made from high quality materials that never turn your skin green, and you never have to take them out.
And oh my God, they are all so cute. I'm obsessed with my Studs earrings, and they have over 250 styles of hoops, huggies, studs, cuffs, and dangles to choose from. And if you're wanting to add a piercing or maybe a few to your ears, visit one of the Studs studios in Los Angeles, New York City, Austin, Nashville, Miami, Boston, or Seattle, and they will take care of you. Their studios are amazing, and their expert ear piercers can help you create the perfect look. Plus, they always pierce with single needles, never guns, which is way safer, especially for those more advanced piercings.
Right now, Studs is offering our listeners 20% off your first purchase when you go to studs.com/chatty. Go to studs.com/chatty for 20% off your first purchase. That's studs.com/chatty.
So, broads, starting your own business is a huge deal. I literally never forget that moment when Becca and I decided to start Chatty Broads almost 4 years ago. The process of seeing something you've dreamed about just take shape into a real live company is kind of wild. If you've already done it, or maybe it's on your bucket list, you're going to want to utilize as many tools as possible to help make things simple and streamlined. And nobody does simple and streamlined quite like our friends at Shopify.
Yep, we've used Shopify for our merch. We use Shopify for Good Alma. It is a godsend if you're running any kind of e-commerce business. From the start of the sales process all the way to the end, Shopify has integrated systems that help you make the most of each step and grow your company. And everyone knows starting a business is never 100% smooth sailing, which is why the best part is that you get 24/7 access to support, and their free libraries are full of educational content to help get you started and keep things running smoothly. It's so user-friendly.
And if you've ever had the thought about turning your passion into a career one day, but the idea of running a digital storefront seemed a little daunting, first of all, same, I feel you, but seriously, go to Shopify and just poke around. I was shocked at how easy it was to not only navigate, but fully understand None of the special skills required, like Becca was saying, they make it so user-friendly. We love using Shopify.
Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/chatty. That's all lowercase, or go to shopify.com/chatty to start selling online today. Shopify.com/chatty.
Okay, Jill, Romeo, Brittany, Kira. Bro, what a shit show that guy is.
I'm also here for it.
So
I am team Romeo, I'm team Jill, I'm team Kira.
you mean you're just team shit show?
I'm team Lace. Yeah.
So my thing was, in the beginning, I felt like, now that I'm seeing how he is, I'm like, oh, no wonder why early on in the first episode you were freaking out, because this is how he was treating you on the outside with Kira. Like, dude, this guy is like it's like you go over to Jill and you say, hey, let's get a drink together. Basically, on the way, he pulls Brittany aside, says, I want to be with you. Maybe the most embarrassing moment in Bachelor in Paradise history was him going in for the kiss and getting swerved. That was
the hardest swerve.
Because he didn't even like wait for her to act interested. He literally said, like, I'm kind of interested in you. And then she looks shocked and goes, well, Jill's my friend.
Her face, she was like,
so she's shocked and had just said, well, she's my friend and I want to respect her. And then he goes in for the kiss there. And then she just goes, whoa, curves him. Then goes back to Jill. Jill says, fuck you. Thank God. Then he goes over to Kira after burning 2 girls and then goes, hey, I just, I've been thinking about you a lot. And I just really feel like we have a connection. And then even Kira's just like, you sound like you got a lot of problems, bro. Like, how did you shit the bed this hard, man? Like, how is it possible that you shit the bed this hard?
And then the next scene's just him crying profusely.
Out of nowhere. Sobbing. And it's like, are you fully acting the sobbing thing out just to hopefully that someone shows a little sympathy?
It was very odd. Very odd, but I really liked how he goes, how his when he figured out what he was going to say to Jill to give her the rose, which it seemed like he got a lot of help from everyone putting that little speech together. Because it was like, I was like, this is not Romeo speaking here. And then he gives her the ultimatums. He gives her the 2 options where he's like, like, if you want to accept this rose and like, you can start fresh with me, or like, you can just accept this rose and like start fresh with someone else.
Yeah.
But I also was like, to me, this was where it was like, I don't know if Kira, if she was presented the rose from Romeo, if she would have said yes to it. But Jill, the moment she got brought up, you knew Jill was going to say yes when Romeo gave her the rose. I don't know,
because she said, there's no way in hell I'm taking his rose.
Bullshit.
But see, I think she felt that way and does feel that way. But then she had a moment of clarity, which was, well, me not taking the rose means I'm going home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just take the rose out of just like a transactional thing because I want to stay on the show.
That's why you don't say things like, I'll never take his rose.
But I think what she was trying to say was like, I'll probably take the rose to stay on the show, but I'm not taking the rose, if that makes sense. Because Brittany even said, she's like, I'd rather like die than take it than kiss him, So it was like, clearly he's created, like he's done. There's no way. How does he make it out of this? He's grossed out every girl on the show. A new
girl comes on who doesn't know.
That's the only way.
Because like, yeah, I mean,
the only way he survives is if a girl comes on just for him. And it was like, I really wanted to see Romeo.
Except like all the other girls will be like buddied up with someone and a new girl comes on and Romeo will be available and they're going to have to figure that out.
I just don't see him surviving because the girls will have control next and they'll have the roses. And like in like an episode, they'll be sending guys home. There's no way he makes it.
You never know.
I guess the only way he does make it is if Jill doesn't find someone to give her rose to, and they just keep swapping. He's like a
harmless idiot on the beach. You know what you're going to get with Romeo. You just got to keep a short leash.
I just feel bad for Jill.
The other guys, you really don't know what they're going to do. You really have no idea what they're going to do.
Basically, Romeo's just trying to get someone to like him. And here's what it seems like with Romeo to me. He doesn't like Jill that much. She is kind of there and seemingly likes him a lot more than he likes her. And so he's going to keep trying all these other options and then going back to Jill. And as long as Jill accepts him, he'll just keep doing that. So Jill needs to like stand by what she's saying and say, you're done. I'm not even entertaining talking to you ever again. Don't get sucked into it, Jill. Like if you start feeling like frustrated because there's like no one else that you're vibing with, don't get sucked into him because he's clearly going to use you. And it's like, dude.
Now.
All right. What else we got?
What did you think of Teddy breaking Andrew's heart?
Wow. That was, in my opinion, the most mature way to go about breaking it off with someone. Like she literally was just like, before even Rodney came in, was talking and was just like, hey, I'm struggling with this. I like him, but like there's something missing there. I can't figure out what it is. I don't want to be all over him. Everything on paper is perfect, but I can't figure it out. Rodney comes in. She chats with him for a few minutes. And then she goes, and it's like it's another reinforcement of like, I don't really like Andrew that much. Pulls him aside, is crying, which I always feel is like a really good sign when someone's crying before they even come talk to you, because it means they care. You know what I mean? It's not like I just got to get rid of this guy because I got to see what else is out there. It's like I feel so bad that I feel this way, but I can't control the way I feel. She was so open, communicative, kind, honest, didn't hold back what she felt, but also was like sweet in the way she delivered it. It allowed Andrew to then like reciprocate the sweetness. And then to complete the perfect situation, she then left. I mean, I didn't want her to leave, but that showed you the genuineness. You know what I mean? It showed the genuineness. It showed that she wasn't just trying to get rid of Andrew to like get with someone else. She literally was just like, this isn't working for me. I'm frustrated by the situation. I'm gone. So for me, it was like, I just couldn't imagine a more mature way of handling breaking it off with someone you care about.
Here's the mind fuck for me and for Andrew is 5 minutes before before Rodney shows up.
Yeah.
Andrew has a good thing going with Teddy. Rodney
in his mind, but she had.
Rodney shows up, and in the 5-minute conversation Rodney has with Teddy not only realizes that she's not into Andrew, she's so not into Andrew that even if Rodney doesn't go on the date with her, she's just going home. And she just packed up her bags and just left. Didn't even get another person. Not even like, oh, like I thought like I might have had a crush on Rodney, but he didn't choose me. But like Andrew's here and I'm going to be on this. She was just like, no. Rodney showed, in the 5 minutes she spent with Rodney, she saw a light that basically was like, there's nothing here for me and I'm going home. Not even saying goodbye to anybody, not even talking to the producers. That's what Andrew just dealt with. I'm like,
it was heavy,
bro.
It was heavy, but I didn't take that as.
And she did not tell him that she was going home. She's just like, yeah, like we're breaking up. Like I'm not into it. And she was emotional or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she just packed her bags and left.
It was intense, but I don't feel like it had to do anything with Andrew, like how much she didn't like Andrew. I think it had to do with the fact that she liked him a ton, but there was something missing. There was a spark missing. And so for me, what I think happened was that she was so like troubled by how much she struggled with that breakup that in like a heat of passion, she thought like this journey, like this roller coaster's too much. If this is already happening guy 1, day 2, like totally. I am sobbing about breaking it off with the guy who I've known for 2 days. I can't handle this. Totally. I gotta bounce.
But what I thought was, what the truth is though, is like, if he doesn't get, like if he didn't know any of this, like who was the
you're saying like just his mindset was like, dude, what just happened?
Because think about there was a contestant where he was like, am I really that bad of a kisser?
Right. What was that?
It's that kind of shit where you're like,
it could have made his brain go, was I that bad that she had to run away?
Dude, imagine he hasn't spent time with anybody else.
Right.
And the one girl he spent time with just literally packed her bags and went home without talking to anybody.
But I think it should. No, I think it's the opposite though. I think if I was with someone and then they were bawling their eyes out and then ran away, I think that would prove to me that like this was traumatic for her. Versus like if she stayed, it would make me feel like I was less meaningful. Like I actually think that's the way to make him feel the most meaningful ever, is to literally leave the show because it was too traumatic for you. Like he seems like just such a nice guy that he's not really reading the fact that like she's not kissing and hugging him probably for like a couple days. And like probably other people would have been like, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're in that situation, you don't realize, but maybe he wasn't. He would kind of had the like rose-colored glasses on, not realizing like, oh, she hasn't been cuddling with me or kissing me.
I was wondering
like,
if he was like being too cutesy-wootsy, too sweetie pie cutesy wootsy.
I don't think there's anything he could have done. When you don't have a spark, you don't have a spark.
When you're not a bad boy,
you need a little danger.
Yeah,
he's too nice. Yeah,
I think Teddy likes a little bit of a bad boy, a little bit of edge.
I don't know, but that was crazy. But I did feel like the breakup was the most mature thing you could ever do. Like they did it perfectly. They were both so understanding, so kind.
Let me tell you something, Evan.
There was
a couple words of wisdom from my corner of the room.
Yeah.
Every girl likes a bad boy. Every girl likes a bad boy.
I mean, there's no question, right? They're like a little danger. Oh, I think because the danger
just
side,
a little
danger creates mystery.
Just a little bit.
And if there's mystery, it's like interesting. Mm-hmm. You're like, I wonder what's going on with that person. Mm-hmm. They're doing some interesting things. But if you can read everything about them, sometimes the mystery, and some people crave the mystery, some people don't.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit about, just a little bit about.
I think what bad boy means is like, I don't know what he's going to do next. Right?
Well, that's like unpredictable.
But I think that's what bad boy is. What is bad boy? It doesn't mean you do bad things. I think it means like, I can't
it means you have a little bit of an
do.
edge. Johnny has bad boy vibes.
But I'm just saying,
Johnny's got like, he just doesn't give a fuck vibes.
But again, that's because it's unpredictable. Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to say something nice? He's going to talk to someone else. Like, that's that fear.
He's like a little bit too much of a bad boy. But like Aaron and James have like a different kind of a bad boy edge.
James doesn't. James is all sweets. He's all peach pie.
Yeah, but James has that like, my boy's in trouble.
I'll drop
my girl's in
for
trouble.
My boys.
James would be like,
James is loyal. He's got the loyal vibe.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's a thing that goes with that. I mean, dude, I can't tell what was going on there. Like, is James really into Shanae, or was he just like...
Yeah, I did find that interesting. But no, but
you're telling me those guys aren't watching the show?
But here's the thing. I think that Aaron is into Genevieve, right? Mm-hmm. They clearly know each other from like San Diego and hanging out. They have a thing. I bet it was just producers being like, okay, Shanae, you go with James. Let's create a dynamic. It was probably just like Shanae will be interesting. Let's check it out.
Also, though,
and the producers go, we got to have them together.
James
on a date.
Couldn't be a sweeter guy. Though,
couldn't be sweeter.
Which we know from the previous things that it was. They probably were just like, actually, you've heard Shanae talking about you,
and he was like, cool.
Like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my boy, like we're all friends. Let's do it.
Sick.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do this double date thing. And then he's definitely Shanae's type.
But don't get it twisted. Shanae's vibing James, but Shanae said Aaron looks hot. And so don't get it twisted. Shanae's going to be barking up that tree.
She's going to do whatever she wants, dude.
What she's going to do, here's what's going to happen. Genevieve is going to be more and more attached to Aaron. Mm-hmm. And when Aaron and Genevieve are reaching maximum closeness, Shanae will be like, can I take you on a walk real quick? And then it's just going to be like, and it's just going to start a absolute nightmare.
And at that point, Justin will have moved on probably back towards Victoria.
We'll see.
Or Sally.
Right. Sally's
a big about
intro.
To walk on. Sally's a big intro. And Sally, I will say Sally looked very healthy.
You liked what you saw with Sally walking down?
I thought, I'm just saying, like, She looked like her breath probably smells nice.
She looked like she has a lot to offer.
Like she'd been spending some time in the sun. She looks
Got it.
really well read.
Sun-kissed. Well-read. Yes.
Just glowing.
Glowing. Yeah, absolutely. The beach glow.
Beach glow.
How happy. I'm so happy that Aaron and James are back, though. The broskies are back. Like, I love Aaron. I don't know what it is. Every time I see him, I smile. I just am like, I love him when he's mad. And he just said respect and all that shit. I love that. I love when he's happy because he's just like, dude, what's up, man? Like, I love when he's like, I love every version of Aaron. He makes me laugh every time. Like, he brings so much joy because he's so emotive too. He's so just like passionate that like he never hides the way he feels. He always goes for it all the way. And then he always gets like, and I love when he's heartbroken too because then he gets all like tweaked. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's fantastic. And I do feel like after the roller coaster of Genevieve and Justin, I do feel like Aaron and Genevieve are great together. They're both kind of chaotic. They're both kind of like young. They have that young like energy.
Dude, they would be so fucking loud in a room together.
They're talkative, they're loud. They both have like that club going energy.
Can you imagine a games night?
The pinnacle of a Friday night is bottle service.
Can you imagine a charades night with them as like a couple team?
Chaos.
Screaming.
And he's like getting mad.
From the moment it starts screaming, they're hyper competitive.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of him.
Snowman, babe! Babe! Is it babe? Snowman?
How did you not get it?
Winter,
How did you not get it?
Snowman!
Babe, honestly, babe, you need to take a break from this game because you are killing our team right now.
How could it be anything other than what were you doing up there? Snowman.
What even was that? Yeah, I could totally see that.
It's one of my favorite things in charades is when people just say the same thing like 9 different times.
And you know the couple that gets like in huge fights outside of the house when everyone's like eating and hanging out and they're like outside fighting, like that's them.
Beck and I are that couple that will fight right in front of everybody.
No. I'm not talking about the couple that fights in front of everybody. I'm talking about the couple that fights outside and they've been gone for an hour and everybody's like, what, did they leave? Like, no, they're just fighting out there. I love the chaos.
That's a rough one when your boy's in that mode, when they're like out front and they're just, they're like,
on the phone for an hour.
You see them trying to talk to him and they're like, dude, like, you see him pointing at like going back inside.
And then she's walking out.
And they just like have their head down, but they're like,
and they've been out there for 2 hours.
They still have a drink in their hand and they're like, fuck, dude, like, fuck. Like they're just looking around like.
Yeah. What's going on, you guys? So then we do have the Victoria and the Justin situation. What a wild ride. First episode, we got Genevieve melting down over Justin entertaining Victoria. Melting down. And then just turns the massive 180 of a lifetime when Aaron shows up.
This is my thing with Genevieve, dude. First off, I love how all over the place she is, but it also, the hypocritical aspect of it really bothers me. Because she was putting Justin in a position where he's like, wait, like, I don't think I did anything wrong. Your feelings are being hurt by something like that he is totally doing in like a respectful, considerate way through the whole time, as if she is not about to just do the exact same thing given the first opportunity to explore something different, to be with someone else. It just like, it triggers her insecurity in a way where it's like the stuff that bothered me with Rachel and Gabby, where it was like, Rachel's like, well, no, now that it's happening to me, it's totally different.
Right.
And wasn't able to be there for Gabby. And when like Gabby's like supporting her.
Oh, the first time. Right. Yeah.
It was like that same kind of
like
thing
first
to me.
rose ceremony when they got switched around.
Yeah. Like she like jumped up the moment that he's like, hey, do you want to talk? She's like, oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Do I want to go on a date? Absolutely.
Yeah. And at first it kind of hit me. Yeah. My whole thing is like, it's like, okay, this killed me because when Aaron came in, it's like, when someone's kind of guilty they start way over explaining everything. You know what I mean? They start overdoing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the overdoing was when he showed up. And then Justin was like, yo, don't you kind of know him? And you guys kind of have a connection. You know, he was kind of like calling it out a little bit. Like, oh, interesting. He's here. Like, don't you guys? And she started saying the stuff that wasn't even a part of the question.
Mm-hmm.
Like she starts going, well, he's not even attracted to me. And he's like, what? Well, no, like there's no reason why he's not even attracted to me at all. Like there's no question about it. He's not even attracted to me. And he's like never even looked at me and never flirted with me once. And he's going, flirted? I didn't ask if he flirted with you. What are you talking about? He's like, no, he would never even flirt, but he's never even flirted with me. He's like, what? I didn't ask any of this. Any of the things you're saying I didn't ask. Like, that's the classic, like, no, I didn't cheat on him. Cheat on you? What? I just asked if you wanted coffee. Oh,
Genevieve
yeah, I'm just saying, I didn't cheat on you. So it was
is
funny.
Someone where I'm like, does Genevieve not realize how beautiful she is?
Yeah, she is kind of playing it like she doesn't have that like confidence.
Hey,
I can do whatever I want.
Dominating.
Vibe. Yeah, it is interesting to see someone like that be
like she has
very swayed by whatever's happening in the moment.
I don't think there's any like. Here's the thing: is like there's no meanness to Genevieve to me. She's like. She can hold a grudge because her feelings got hurt, but I firmly believe the moment that person were to like extend any kind of peace offering, she jumps on it because she doesn't like the whole thing of like being mad at someone actually really just stresses her out.
Like Shanae, like how
the
she immediately.
The moment she had the ability to be like, oh my gosh, like things don't have to be tense. Like, thank goodness.
Me and Shanae are friends now. Yeah.
Like, and she's like quickly trying. She's like, I just realized Shanae's not here to try to start anything, so it's like it's all fine. She's like, the last thing I want to deal with is like if Shanae's coming out swinging, like I'm just not going to be able to handle it.
Right. She was terrified the whole time.
And
then the second Shanae showed her a little bit of niceness, everything melted away.
Exactly.
With the Justin piece, I felt like the only big error he made, because she was kind of like, she was melting down, right? She talked to every single person at the camp when Victoria and him were on the date. And
wasn't it Johnny who was like, I don't see him giving a rose to anyone but you?
Yeah, like she was like, everyone was reinforcing her, but then all people were also being honest about the fact of like, hey, this is day 2, and like, yeah, he's going on a date, no big deal. And then I thought Justin did really great with the cake and everything, but I thought where he blew it, the one time he really like didn't help himself was when he got back right from the date, sat down with Genevieve, and was just like, what's up? And she's like, hi. And he's like, crazy day. And she's like, okay. And he's like, what do you want me to say? You want to talk? Or she's like, yeah, can you just explain to me what's going on? And he's like, I mean, yeah, it was like a cool day, and like, you know, I don't know.
He's like, I had fun. Like, yeah, it's hard for me to sit here and tell you that I had a really good time.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, you're making the situation so much worse by like your not thinking about what you want to say. Because my thought would be like this: do what the pros do. They come back and they go, hey, I missed you today. How was your day? I'm sorry, this was probably really hard. Are you doing okay?
I think he was
Hold on
more
real quick, because they always go, are you doing okay? Yeah, I missed you too. I hope you're doing well. Did you have a good day? Yeah, I know it was hard. I'm sorry about that. Oh, how was the day? Yeah, it was good. We had a good time. You know what I mean? Like we had, it was really great getting to know her. Definitely felt like we had good conversation. We had a good time together. So yeah, like I just felt like I'm just in that place now where I really want to kind of see where things go with me and you. And I'm also just, meeting her, and I just want to be open and honest about this whole process, as you know what I mean? Like just communicating everything, but also reinforcing where he just goes, crazy day. Yeah, I just don't know. And it's like, bro, you can't tell someone, I don't know what's going on, when they've been stewing all day. You got to give them something.
I think that he was like recognizing he needed to, but then when it came down to it, he's like, fuck, like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't think he knew where he was at. And I think he was kind of like sitting with her. I honestly believe if he didn't just turn around like right after that and see Victoria pull Johnny, right when they got back from their date, just go and start establishing a backup plan for herself. I think if he had been like spared that, he probably would have just chosen Victoria.
See,
because their date was so good. They looked so casual and like.
You mean Victoria?
Yeah.
See, you're saying he would have chose Victoria.
I think if he didn't see her just immediately turn around to go make out with Johnny, he probably would have chosen Victoria.
Yeah, for me, it was like, I think that he had a great connection with Victoria. He even said, like, there's something different about her, right? So he was connecting with her in a big way. Again, they didn't make out. Something to think about. Didn't make out. So that's interesting. She made out with Johnny in 10 seconds. They didn't make out. So they're clearly there. Maybe there was something missing there.
Dude, that's where I'm like, Justin is like, I think he's got a little more tact on some of this stuff.
But I just felt like he didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but he should have read that she was spiraling and given her much more of like, hey, I missed you. I hope you're doing okay. I'm sorry for what happened. But he made it so much worse by doing like, I don't know.
Except here's Genevieve
like,
in that.
Bro, so then you have to go out of your way to make a cake and now it looks like you're
Genevieve,
reaching.
Though. Here's Genevieve in that. When he goes, how are you doing? She's like, I'm good.
I totally understand. I'm just saying like, there's a plenty of ways she blew it. I'm more saying on paper, it's obvious that she was spiraling. He did a good job. He was nice. I'm more like going, okay, where is maybe the holes here? I also felt like, Genevieve, you need to play it cool. You know what I mean? Like play it cool. This is always the rule we talk about. It's like when you feel like you're losing it, because the second you act like, where are you going? People run. But if you act like
likes desperate.
But if you act chill, people start to go, oh, maybe.
Look at our boy Johnny. The most chill.
But he hasn't had someone ripped from him yet.
No.
Let's see what happens when someone gets ripped.
Who I think
Let's see when Victoria like makes out with Justin again or something and see how he acts.
Who I think acts chill and isn't chill is Jacob.
Yeah. I mean,
Jacob, he has weird vibes to me, dude.
The vibes. You mean when he's just like auditioning the women?
Yes.
And he's like,
when he realizes
all three of you come make out with me.
Yeah, dude. When he realized the position he was in, and he was like he's the judge, jury, and fucking
executioner.
Yeah, he's in that whole position. He loved it, and the look in his face when he's like, "Oh, like you really think you want to be with me?"
Lace, come over here, make out with me. Let's see how it goes.
Prove it.
It was literally
display.
It was like a prince who's been given the kingdom, and he's like,
He's like,
I think I'll do what I want now.
About time.
Yeah,
it's about time.
He's
people
like,
started dancing to my music.
I can't take him seriously though. He just makes me laugh.
Anyone can.
I
do love his one-on-ones though, where he's like calling out himself with women though. It's like, dude, what are you saying? Like he's talking to Lace.
Oh, about the strip club?
And he's like, yeah, like I went to Hong Kong. And he's like, oh, no, not Hong Kong, China, like Hong Kong, the strip club. And she's like, ew, gross, don't touch me. And I was like, bro,
you have all the power right now and you burned it still. Like all you had to say was, don't talk about the strip club you went to.
Gross, don't touch me. This fool is talking about Hong Kong.
The strip club in Tijuana. Not like
Hong Kong, China.
Not like any other trips you've taken in your life.
He's like, yeah, no, it's like my birthday. I was like, I'll go to Hong Kong. Like my buddy said it was really cool.
Interesting. You went to China?
My buddy said it was cool. My friends all said it was cool. And he's like, Hong Kong, the strip club in Tijuana.
And my favorite thing about it was he said it like she knew about it. Like she's been there.
Like everyone knows.
Yeah, like everyone
about
knows Hong Kong. And they're like, yeah, no. This TJ strip club.
No, not China. Not China.
That's like saying, I spent a year in Paris. And they're like, wow. And they're like, Texas.
And
he's like, oh.
Or like Vegas, like little Paris in Vegas or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, no one, if you say, I just went on a vacation to Paris, no one thinks you're talking about Paris, California. Like everyone's assuming France. So it's just hilarious. Like he's so bad that it's like he's messing up when he has all the power. He's messing it up somehow.
That was one of the funniest things. You don't touch me.
Right after they made out. Okay. Brandon and Serene. I mean, they're gonna get married, dude. They're incredible. The two best looking, most charming, sweet people on the show found each other day one and they're in love.
I think Zaddy McZaddies and what's her face are the best looking.
Oh, Michael? Michael and What's her name?
Why can't I think of it? I don't know. She's like the most perfect looking person on the beach. She's literally like flawless every single time that she's on camera.
Sierra.
Dude, Sierra is like all about him.
Sierra is beautiful. Michael's amazing looking. They seem to have a really strong connection.
Dude.
And
like,
he's like,
what?
She's handling his like grief stuff really well. And like, yeah, so Brandon, Serene, Sierra, Michael, they all seem really locked.
Dude, yeah, I don't
but
see
Serene and Brandon to me, like that is an immovable force at this point. Like something would have to be devastating to break that up.
Freaking Brandon. I just can't say this happened to my boys anymore.
He's crying because his buddies.
Nothing's happening to Brandon.
No, nothing's happening to Brandon. He's crying because he hurts for his friends.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Stop.
I was stoked when Rodney showed up. The nicest guy ever. Like I'll catch myself smiling when Rodney's on because he's just so nice. Rodney's the guy that when he walks into like a party, everyone goes, Rodney's here. Like, what's up?
He's
dude?
like, hey guys.
Yeah, I brought beers. I brought whatever. I brought the steaks. Like,
great smile.
Great smile.
It's crazy.
Whoever gets with him is lucky because he is a great soul.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you could say bad about that guy. Yeah, I mean, I think that's most of it, right?
Who was it? Was it Aaron who came on was talking to somebody, and he was like asking if anyone had said that they were interested in him, and they were like, well, I am, and he was like, oh well, he's like not interested in them. He was just pulling them aside to talk to them, and that girl thought that he was like into her, and he was like,
he pulled Genevieve, and he pulled, who else did he pull?
Did he pull Haley?
I'm spacing now.
He pulled a blonde girl.
Well, it was either Hunter or Haley then. Those were the only two blondes.
Yeah,
So I think it was Haley.
It might have been Haley, and Haley was like saying that she was into him, and he was like,
but Haley went home before that. Haley went home during the roast ceremony.
It was either him or it was what's his face? I felt so bad for him that he was going to find Teddy, and then Teddy was just gone, and he's like, wait, what? Who did he talk to?
Hold on a second. Who's Loose?
Loose is Lace.
No.
Yes.
I have a thing here that says
Loose.
There's Lace and then there's Loose.
Loose is
Loose is just the name he called her. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at this like breakdown and I'm like, wait, Loose. That's this. Wait, am I missing something?
Lace, just forever now known as Loose.
Okay, so wait, Haley and Hunter, those are blondes. We have Casey, Sierra, James, Brittany. Was it Brittany? No, it wasn't Brittany.
No, he pulled one of those girls aside and was talking to him, and they were like totally interested in him and told him as much. And he was like, What'd you think of the fact that Haley's been on the show now as many times as she has, and she's never received a rose?
I felt so bad for Haley in that way, dude. It was like, 2 for 2. Both times she showed up on the show, she got booted right away. It's like, I felt bad. She's so sweet. She's just not cut out for this. These are killers. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be willing to go. And she's just too nice. She's too sweet. She's too just genuine. She's talking all the time. I just want to find love and I don't want to compete and all this stuff. And I'm just like, you're in the wrong game.
I'm really excited to see what Sally brings.
Yeah, I hope Sally messes some stuff up.
She could really wreck house. I mean, all we know is that she was selected immediately. Colton's like, dude, like I am.
Yeah, she got him immediately and barely showed interest in him and then left. It's like, whoa. So she must have like an electricity about her that makes you just like want to be around her. The fact that she got the rose and didn't even want it.
Every girl is so shook. And it's like, dude, she wasn't even on the show.
A legend for getting the first impression rose and leaving. Ultimate power move.
It's a massive power move.
Wow. Well, it's going to be I'm actually really looking forward to this season. Not like actually, but I'm just saying like I am, because I think it's going to be electric. There's a lot of going on, and I'm seeing a lot of previews of people crying who shouldn't be crying, and that's always a good sign.
I mean, we see like a massive upheaval of cast members in this too.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot of wrenches. And I'm also sensing that, well, people are on edge.
Here is the one that I thought was really funny is how jealous do you think Jesse Palmer is of Aaron and James?
Just that he wants to be with the boys.
When they showed up, he's like, fuck, I want to go down on that beach so
I think he
bad
was
with
like,
you guys."
he had partied with them in San Diego, and they were like, dude, remember that legendary night we had?
I bet they did.
100%. 100%. They had a legendary night at some club, and they were like, dude, I miss you guys.
He has to.
I miss you guys.
Does he live in San Diego?
I don't know, but he should, because they all live in San Diego.
He's got to live in San Diego. Where else does someone like Jesse live?
San Diego.
Dude, and they, of course, like, they are San Diego surf bro. Like, God.
But I hadn't heard this one. Wait, hold on. I got the quote right here. I hadn't heard this. I wrote this down because I was like...
Their little surf quote?
The surf quote was... It was something... When you got the itching for something, the only lotion is the ocean.
Yeah.
And
then they had, like, some follow-up.
But my thing was like, that's a quote from two people that have never surfed in their life. Like they have, there's no question.
We saw clips of someone surfing.
That was Johnny.
That was Johnny?
That was Johnny 100%. So my thing was like, Aaron and James are the classic San Diego transplants. Like the guys who moved to San Diego and are like, fuck, I love the beach, but have never surfed in their life. And they're like, I'm a San Diegoite for that forever. And it's like, no. You just moved
Gym bros. Hard.
Who love the sunshine.
Gym bros.
It's going to be sick. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm very excited.
Love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. Do you have any cool plans this weekend?
Becca and I are going to an animal husbandry workshop.
Whoa, you guys are getting real workshopy with the off-grid, kind of alternative lifestyle workshop.
This is one of the sacrifices I'm willing to make for our relationship because I don't really like workshops and I don't really like people who attend workshops, but Becca turns out is one of those workshoppy people, and she's kind of like, wants me to be there with her at a workshop. That's good.
It brings you guys together.
This one should be cool though. I'm into it. The place looks really cool.
I think it's going to be very cool.
I think it's really practical.
I think it's going to be very cool to learn all these skills. Like the cob thing is we were talking. It sounds amazing. So that's great. I'm going to be working.
It is very cool. I mean, Becca's also really driven to like do this stuff.
Right. Not just learn it, but do it.
Yeah. So we're probably going to do like some kind of a kids room. Like if it's less than 100 square feet, you don't have to permit it.
So you can try it out.
So we can mess around with some of the stuff that she's been learning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the animals things, like my family's raised chickens.
There you go.
A handful of times. But the, it'll just be interesting to take it with like a workshop and see like what they do.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that's like when you imagine yourself surviving in the woods.
Right.
It's like the one thing
Practical.
Is like, like killing, could
farming and
like say you killed a
house
deer.
Building.
Say you killed a deer, like not knowing how to gut the deer is like the difference between
very intense
having food you can eat.
Sure.
Because you could fuck something up and then you get intestinal fluid all over the meat and now you can't eat it. Or it's poop meat. It's poo-poo meat.
Well, guys, we just wanted to wrap this episode up with some very graphic material here.
Sometimes, Evan, when I'm in the middle of one of these end of episode tangents, and then you do a guys.
Well, you're going on about like slaughtering animals and getting guts and bile all over the meat.
I didn't know you were a vegan.
I'm not. I'm just like...
Oh, you're one of those... So you're someone who eats meat, but you can't stand the process of how that meat got on your plate.
No, it's just...
Oh, no, it's fine, Evan. I get it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
Oh, my God. Well,
In other news,
we love you all. Have an amazing weekend. He'll be doing husbanding and husbandry.
I told my dad about it, and he was like, "Is it like you're like a weekend of like becoming a better husband?" I was like,
I'll be working. He'll be being a husbandry, and we wish you the best in whatever journeys and challenges and victories you may face. We love you all.
I like that.
We'll see you all next weekend. Kisses and hugs.
Peace and love.
Mwah.
Or was it peace and blessings?
I don't know.
Peace and blessings.
Amen.